really wanted to quickly, because I forgot to actually say thank you for listening to me if you watched my meltdown. I had a little bit of a meltdown yesterday. You know, I think Lisa put it the best way. For us to stay positive all the time, we have to release the tension. Or when the tension builds up. I think, okay, what she said made me think this. Part of how you can stay positive all the time is to not let the tension build up. And one way to not let the tension build up is to cry. That is right for me. I am also a Cancer and we cry at everything. No, just kidding. That's just a sort of like a stereotypical thing. But what I find definitely is to let it out before it gets built up. You know, I very rarely get frustrated. I'm not saying never. I never say never. I very rarely get frustrated. I very rarely have moments of despair. And when I say moments of despair, honestly, I'll have moments. You know, less than 60 seconds of despair before my faith in what's right will kick in. You know, I mean, I know he's got my back and it'll all work out. Maybe not in my time, you know, and again, my plans, his plans, he laughs at my plans, you know, like that whole thing. But, you know, I have to just have faith that we'll work out and everything happens in his time for his reasons. So I just have to have faith. I just want to thank everybody. I have not been able to read any comments. I did a few the other day, but mostly since I got back from Ohio, I haven't been able to read any comments. But I am 99.9% sure that you guys left me beautiful comments on the video last night. And I promise that when part of watching Luna is she takes naps in the afternoon and we'll have downtime, so I'll definitely be able to get caught up watching her this week, which is great. I'm excited about that. I still don't know when I'm going to do videos because I didn't bring everything I need to craft. And my finances for the next month are like, I don't think I can buy anything to craft either. Which really stinks because I'm going to be by the 99-cent only store. So I'm like, But that's okay. Again, his plan, his working out. I can't.
In 10 miles, continue onto North Medford Drive.
Thank you. I can't have everything that I want in the time that I want it. Even no matter how hard I work for it, because that's not what it's all about. So that's it. I just wanted to say thank you again, and I'll catch you in Houston. You might be down for a moment, feeling like it's hopeless. That's when he reminds you that you're an overcomer. You're an overcomer. You're an overcomer. Don't give in. You're an overcomer. Don't quit. Don't give in. You're an overcomer. You're an overcomer. At 20 years of age, I'm still looking for a change. The war's already waged for my destiny. But you already won the battle and you've got great plans for me. You know what? I'm going to stop the music for a second. And again, I don't even know if I'm going to add this to the vlog, but I'm just going to talk to you guys. I realized that I was talking to Lisa and I was like, well, I don't even know if the things that I vlogged on this road trip were things that I told you guys before, or any of you knew, or it was just boring to listen to my voice. It used to be nice. Everybody would say, oh, I love listening to your voice. Now it's like, meh. But anyhow, one of the things that I realized, and you guys probably don't realize it because it's all in my head, is when you have a comment with a question and I answer you in the comments, I forget that I didn't tell it to everybody. Does that make sense? You know, so say Candula Girl had a question and I had a really long explanation for the answer. I picked a random person, by the way. She's sweet and she's very helpful to everybody, so I kind of picked her. It wasn't really that random. But anyway, so say she has a question and I go into a long, explanative, detailed sort of explanation, right? And I know explanative and explanation don't belong in the same sentence. But say I went into a long, detailed explanation. I forget, or I don't process it as everybody doesn't know. Now, I don't assume everybody reads all the comments. However, I forget exactly if I said that in a video or if I said that in a comment. Do you know what I'm saying? So one of the things that comes up a lot is about my positive attitude, my positive outlook on life, my based on my spirituality. That's one of the things that comes up in comments a lot. Like, how do you stay so positive with all the adversity? And to be honest with you, I said it perfectly the other day to Eden. I was like, well, what's my choice? We could choose joy. We choose positivity. We can choose to look at the brighter side of life. But what's the alternative? Be miserable? Be stressed out by stuff? Be anxious by stuff? Be ungrateful for everything? Always wanting more? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the alternative to that? Like, of course you want to pick joy. Of course you want to pick peace and a spiritual love and the fact that we know it's all going to work out in the end as long as we have faith in just that. You have to have faith that it's going to all work out. And that's one of the things. You know, my faith base happens to be that I'm a Christian, and I happen to believe that because I believe in Jesus Christ and I do good works and I've been baptized, that I will go to heaven. Like, I believe all those things. You may not, and that's fine. I'm not pushing my religion on anybody, but that's where mine comes from. Mine comes from my spirituality. And on top of that, are you going to do that? Because I'm going to do that. Thanks, Dad. On top of that, I really had some tough moments in life that put my life into perspective, if that makes sense. You know, I can look back and I can see all of the things that were lacking in my life, and I have family members that do that. They just like, oh, you know, woe is me, I didn't have this, I didn't get that. And that's fine for them, but I choose not to do that, because I can say, I am so grateful.
In 1 mile, continue onto North Medford Drive.
I'm so grateful that we had a house and we never got kicked out of our house. Hold on. Am I supposed to take that exit? Oh. I missed what he said, but I don't think it's to take that exit, so I think it was go straight. Anyway, I grew up with people, like, I grew up in lower middle class in a upper middle class neighborhood. Probably in the poverty line. Actually, there were times where we were. But that doesn't define me. You know,
continue on to North Medford Drive.
Sorry. That doesn't define me. That made me who I am, and it made me appreciate
in 5.2 miles, keep right onto US 59 south towards Houston.
Thank you. That made me appreciate all that I have and all that I get when I work for it. Because my parents worked really hard, and then we still didn't have stuff. So that's what I realized can happen to me. Like right now, I feel like I'm working really hard at this channel, and like things just aren't coming to fruition like I'd hoped. However, I'm still working hard at it. You don't give up, you know, just because the road is bumpy. As long as it's not a detriment to my health or my family or my finances, I have to keep pushing forward, and that's really what gets me going, you know. The other thing that comes up a lot, and is my self-confidence. Now, oddly enough, you can imagine, I wasn't always. I always was very egotistical when I was younger. Like, even though the kids would make fun of me for being poor and dirty and fat, actually till I was an adult. Well, not all the poor and dirty and fat part, but just the fat part. Because that those kids are not nice kids, or those kids were bullies or whatever, again, that doesn't define me. All it did was teach me how not to treat people. I never wanted anybody to feel how they tried to make me feel. Now, the egotistical part comes in because for every child who was my age that told me something bad about myself, there was an adult who, of course, you respect adults a little bit more than children. There was an adult telling me how wonderful I was, how special I was, how smart I was, how talented I was, how beautiful I was. And really, when it came down to it, at a very, very young age, I realized that I'm me, and I'm the only one I'm gonna get. Okay, and I have to love myself first, because I'm gonna spend most of the time in my life with myself. Same goes for you guys. You will spend most of your time on this earth with yourself. And if you don't like yourself, then you really can't expect anyone else to do that as well. And if you don't love yourself, you really shouldn't expect anyone else to do that as well. Now, people may love you to the moon and back, and you might have the worst self-hate in the world. However, you just shouldn't expect it. You know, you can't find your happiness in someone else. It's what I gave Lisa and Sharon, these things that said happiness is an inside job. And that's exactly right. Happiness is an inside job. You can choose joy, you can choose happiness, and you can choose self-love.